Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of That Random Podcast Crew. I'm your host, That Random Panda. Today, I'm joined, like always, with Electronic Ghost,
Hello.
Hikaru Senshi,
Hello, everyone.
and we are going to be talking about dreams. Today's podcast is called Dreams and Me. And a disclaimer first, dreams are not fully understood. As humans, we do not fully understand dreams. I've done my research. We've done our research. We may not know 100% about what we're talking about. I just want everyone to know, as a race, we do not understand dreams 100%. Do y'all understand that? Y'all understand that? Great.
Yeah.
Good. Now onto your scheduled podcast.
Oh.
Alright, guys. What is a dream? Who wants to start?
I could start.
By all means.
So, dreams are hallucinations that tend to occur strongly during the REM sleep cycle, or the rapid eye movement stage of sleep.
Yes.
Yes.
Now, I want to go next because I want to go more in detail in the scientific terms of what the rapid eye movement stage is, in case no one knows what it is. I've done my research, guys. I hope you appreciate this. First things first. I believe it's pronounced oneurology. The word will be on the screen now. Thank you, Future Panda. It's the scientific study of dreams. Now, there are different stages of sleep. There are actually 4. NREM, which is non-rapid eye movement, and REM, rapid eye movement.
Yes.
There are 3 stages to non-rapid eye movement. Stage 1, the beginning of falling asleep. It lasts around 5 to 10 minutes when you try to start sleeping, or for me, it's like 1 to 2 hours.
Relatable.
Yes. Stage 2 is when your body temperature starts to drop and your heart rate begins to slow down. Your brain starts to produce what's called sleep spindles. And I have no idea what a sleep spindle is, so I had to do this research. Sleep spindles are bursts of neural oscillatory activity that are generated interplay of the thalamic reticular nucleus and other thalamic nuclei during stage 2 of non-rapid eye movement sleep in a frequency range of 11 to 16 hertz, usually 12 to 14 hertz roughly, with a duration of 0.5 seconds or greater. Now, y'all may be wondering, what the heck did Panda just say? And to be completely honest, I don't even know what I just said, so...
I understood a little bit of it.
Yeah.
Thalamic refers to the thalamus, which is a part of the brain. Now, I don't remember exactly what it does, but I guess it
Neither do
deals
I.
with regulation of body functions.
So let me just put this in a way we can all understand. Very simple terms. Sleep spindles is a special type of brainwave that occurs during stage 2 of non-rapid eye movement. It sends a certain frequency of waves from one part of the brain to the other. In total, this stage roughly lasts 20 minutes. I think that was much simpler terms.
Yes. Also, to add on to that, usually there's different depths of sleep. Like, if I remember correctly, I think it takes 90 minutes to go through a full phase of sleep, going down from I forget which comes first, but there's alpha, beta, and theta waves, and then there's REM, which is the rapid eye movement stage. But you tend to cycle through several times a night.
Yeah.
Each of these
Gosh,
phases.
I'm not even done. You know, I got this written down somewhere. Besides the alpha, beta, I got stage 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
Stage 3 of non-rapid eye movement. The muscles are now relaxed. Your blood pressure and breathing rate has dropped. And that's when you actually start to fall into deep sleep. Now, rapid eye movement, which is stage 4 of sleep. During this stage, the eyes move more rapidly. That's why it's called rapid eye movement. You can not actually see it, but you're under your eyelids. Some people can see the eyes moving around underneath. You guys know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yes, so that's why it's called non-rapid or rapid eye movement. The brain during this stage becomes more active. The body becomes relaxed and immobilized. And during this stage is when dreams occur. Now, to go back to what Ghost has said, this cycle restarts from stage 2 about 4 to 5 times a night, depending on how much you sleep. Obviously, there are different variables on how often this can occur, such as being of older age, having a sleep disorder, having pains, and there can be many other factors on how much this can occur. For me, it's like setting up an alarm. I only had 4 hours of sleep last night, or having a 2-hour nap and having someone wake you up. I doubt I went through a cycle more than once or twice during that nap.
Oh yeah, considering the whole 90-minute average, you probably would have gone through one cycle.
Exactly.
Hmm.
Hika, you want to add anything onto what a dream is?
Well, just like basically what everyone just said basically answers everything I researched, but it's also a term of being an aspiration word. So, dreams are also being as maybe also be the mind of sleep, but also a word of ambition or ideal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because dreams has various words, but what we're mostly talking about is the ideal thought of like dreams like interpretations. So yeah, that's not much I really want to bring up too, since everyone basically answered all our questions.
No,
We took the literal route.
yes, we took the
Yep.
literal out because, like, I mean, we could have went with the route like dreams are. I'll talk about that later. What about other things with dreams? But like, we could have took the literal route on what we think dreams are. But then we wouldn't do the research. And doing the research, I actually learned some things. I feel like,
Yeah.
that's one good thing
Yeah,
about these podcasts. You actually learn some things.
it does too. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Now, moving on to the second question. Why do we dream? Hika, you want to start us off?
Why do we dream?
Yes.
Like, I think it's like dreams help us like, I guess from my point of experience, like they kind of have a premonition because there's points in dreams where I have experienced in life that dreams kind of shows like events that never happen or just possibilities. They're kind of interesting in a way. Like we just find out ourselves like what's gonna happen in these kind of dreams. Yet these things are hard to remember because you don't know what happens afterwards. So people tend to dream pretty often, even through sleep.
True.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's my point of how dream is. Who wants to go next on this one?
Can I?
By all
Yes.
means.
So, from what I remember learning, taking psychology courses, I was told that we dream because it helps us like process emotions and memories and experiences that we've had through the day, and it helps us kind of have contact with our like subconscious and unconscious parts of our brains. So we tend to like understand ourselves more through dreams, but also because it just tends to like it helps us understand things about ourselves and understand things about what we've experienced through the day, and also helps us kind of vent creativity in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I really wish I brought my friend who said psychology because he is a psychology major. I wish
Ooh.
I would have been like, hey, buddy, you want to hop on and join the podcast for a bit?
I
Well,
wish
don't
I had
worry, I'm
more.
the pocket psych major here,
Yeah,
although I've
no.
graduated.
I'm just trying
I
to
wish
take
I
that title from you. I'm just kidding.
I wish I
Aw,
could take
stealing my
more.
thunder.
I wish I could take more of that because I only took one class a year.
Oh, it's worth it.
I wish I could study more. Oh.
Okay, Panda.
All right, my time to shine. There are many different reasons out there, and many different theories that tell us why we dream. Let's see. One belief is that dreams help us store memories. Because I got a couple things. You already say creativity, right?
Yeah.
Did anyone mention desires or the memories?
I mentioned that it helps us process memories.
Yeah. Yeah, so I got
Yeah.
helps us store memories. Uh, and it's also believed that unimportant memories are forgotten. That's why we don't dream about them.
Yes.
While sometimes when we dream things seem familiar, such as things from the past. Another reason why we dream is to help drive our creative side. You said that. I'm sorry, listen, guys. I've done this research a couple days ago. Things happened. We were delayed. It's my fault too. Why we were delayed?
Also, I have a fun fact about dreams.
Oh,
Our brains tend to store faces, so that's why sometimes you'll have people in your dreams that you recognize and people that you don't recognize, but you've probably seen them in passing.
oh my God,
No, yeah,
no! That
yeah,
I feel that so many times at work.
yeah, yeah. I, I,
It's,
I forgot about that. I remember learning about that. I didn't even research that. I learned about that as a fun fact a long time ago. We're talking about years ago.
Yes, I don't remember when I learned about it, but I just remembered it out of nowhere.
Oh
But
my
also, the reason
gosh.
we don't dream about like forgettable memories is because there's a process that takes like memories and it takes it from short-term memory to long-term memory, and
Mhm.
sometimes some of those memories don't make it to long-term memory, so we don't dream about them.
Alright, I'm gonna continue now.
Yes, continue.
Dreams could also be a form of therapy to help confront different emotional events that occurred during one's life. So it can help us understand things, certain events better, or certain
Yeah.
hardships in our current life. Or just help us cope.
yeah.
Let's see. Another reason for dreams could be to help prepare us for situations later in life. Yes, I actually saw this, and this was a very interesting theory. One part of the brain that is more active during sleep is the
Amygdala.
amygdala. Yes, and the amygdala is the part of the brain that is associated with survival instinct. Did you know that?
Yeah.
So the theory states that the reason this part of the brain is more active during sleep rather than when we're awake is to help prepare ourselves for certain events that could happen. You know what I mean? So that way, if it happens to us during when we're awake, we're already mentally prepared in a way.
Yes. Can
Yeah.
I piggyback off of the amygdala comment?
By all means, because I think that's where
So,
I'm done. Yeah.
the reason that the amygdala is probably so active during dreaming is because the amygdala is also involved in memory making. So, like, to kind of go off on a tangent about it, you tend to remember things more if it activates your amygdala, whereas if it doesn't like activate your amygdala as much, you're not going to remember it as well.
That explains why I forget a lot of things.
Yes.
My amygdala is slacking. Alright, are we ready to move on to the next question?
Yes.
Yes.
Do you think that only humans are capable of dreams? I want to start off with this. I believe that every being, living being, maybe besides insects, but if they have a brain, I feel like everything with a brain can dream. Like jellyfish, they don't have brains, right?
I don't think they do.
So I
I'm not
personally
sure.
think that every being that has a brain itself are capable of dreams, or if they are able to sleep. Besides jellyfish, because I feel like they have no possible way they can dream. Now, the reason I say this is because, like, I've had a total of 3 dogs in my life. When they sleep, one, they're cute and adorable, but when they sleep, their eyes do the same thing. They twitch like our eyes do when we're in rapid eye movement stage, REM.
Yeah.
And not only that, their body actually physically moves like they're reacting to something. Does that make
Yeah.
sense?
Yeah.
And obviously they're sleeping, so
Can I add to that
of
something?
course, by all means, listen. It's all the floor is yours now. That's all I got.
Gotcha. And just like you said, that all mammals are basically have dreams like that, because even signs where like, let's say, because I only have a dog at the time, and they have dreams where like they started barking, and it's like you kind of hear them like speaking like in their dream. you not understand it, but they're responsive like on their dream,
Oh
even
yeah.
if they're like very tired.
Right.
I can also piggyback off of that. They tend to dream about like things they experience during the day, and if I remember correctly, they tend to dream a lot about their owners. So,
Oh.
and also they tend to like if they sense that you're worried about something, they'll often lose sleep because they're worried about you.
Aw.
Aw.
Right?
Now you're gonna make me feel
Yes.
sad.
That's
But
wholesome.
yeah, they're
That is
awesome.
so-
But yeah, like I've seen my dog, she'll like kind of like move her feet and I can hear like the claws on the wood kind of like scratching as
Yes.
she's like trying to run after something and then she'll like boof in her sleep, like boof, boof.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's
It's
exactly
the
what I'm talking
cutest
about.
thing.
Yeah.
Like I know
So,
I know when my dog tends to go to sleep, and then whenever she comes to either me or my sister, she just like sits right next to us and is like, yeah, she
oh,
cares.
oh,
Now,
Yeah.
can I go back to
dogs also
question
snore.
question 2? Yes, they do.
Yes.
Now, I want to ask another question about question 2, guys. With the
Okay.
why do we sleep? Why do you guys think we sleep? Or do you guys like agree with all the theories that it can be like all of them? Or do you think it's specifically like one theory?
I guess like like I think dream is more like a like another side of the mind,
Mm-hmm.
because like I don't know. I take this as an example from the one movie called Soul from Disney,
I
and
did watch that. I don't
yeah,
want to
because
talk
like
about my opinion on that movie.
I know, but there's a point of example that dreams do happen to, like you say, your soul like comes out of it a little bit when you're like a transparent world.
So it detaches you from yourself.
Yeah, your spirit detaches from your and go into a lucid dream or something like that.
Oh, we'll talk about
Like your
lucid
mind's in
dreams later.
yeah, and your
Yeah.
mind's is somewhere else. Like even if you have no brief memory of what happened on that dream, you still like you're like in there, you know?
Right.
That's how
Yeah.
I kind of feel about like dreams. Like why do we dream? Is going into another world. It's kind of weird and thinking like that way, but
Yeah.
I personally
and it,
think there's no specific reason why we dream. It's just a thing that's there. I guess the most logical thing for me is that dreaming helps us cope, if that makes sense,
mm,
on an
Yeah.
emotional level. Like, I see where you're going, Hika, and I'm not saying that's
mhm,
not far fetched. It's pretty
yeah,
believable, honestly.
some- yeah,
But I feel like it's like more like a coping mechanism for the body to help us
that's true.
understand things in life.
Yeah.
Sometimes it doesn't make sense, sometimes it does.
Yeah,
Ghost, what about you?
Um, I think it might have to do with like the fact that like besides the fact that we sleep to like restore our bodies biologically and to give ourselves rest, but like I think that we dream to kind of like give our kind of stimulate our brains so that we don't just like randomly wake up for like no reason just because we're like, "Oh, I slept a little, that's fine, I'll wake up." But I think that we dream because as we've evolved, our brains have gotten more complex, and so we kind of have to have something happen, and our bodies just decided, hey, let's hallucinate while we're laying down here for 6 to 8 hours, and just use it to pass the time.
Ah, the most ultimate hardcore drug, I see.
hmm
Now, I have another question. I don't think I wrote this one down. Since we're like on this topic and you mentioned being detached, Hika, do you
hmm
think our dreams could be linked together? Like two people can dream about the same thing at the same time and potentially interact with each other?
It's I can't say that the theory is possible, but it could be. But there's no like I don't know if there's any evidence as I try to research this fact
Right.
if they have any signs of evidence or memory that they have even met in their dreams. Sure, you probably have met them like during a scenario, but not a scenario that will happen the next day. So there possibly another there's possibly there are chances that it will happen, but you never know because you can't really have any signs of memory about it.
Right.
Uh, unless someone, yeah.
Do you have opinion on the matter, Ghost?
Can I have a question again?
Do you think it's possible for two people to share the same dream and interact with each other? Because I'm just going off of what Hika said earlier with being detached from the body
Oh yeah.
and going to, like, in essence, another world. That's what you said? Is that what you said? Hika?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which is a very interesting thought, honestly.
I
Mhm.
think that it may not be possible to have the exact same dream as someone else, maybe just to have a similar dream, just because, you know, the human experience is often mostly similar, so you tend to have similarities in like day-to-day life with other people. But as for having the exact same dream, I don't exactly think that's all that plausible.
I guess that only happens in Steven Universe. If you don't know what I'm talking about, in couple episodes of Steven Universe, whenever the main character Steven sleeps, he actually can interact with certain people's dreams. It's
Oh.
weird, but cool.
It is a cool thing too. Yeah.
Yeah, he actually lucid dreams a lot. So, you know, he's a pro at that. I can't do that. Alright, we ready to move on?
Yes.
Yes.
Now, this one should be a very easy question that I can answer with one word. Do we always dream? Yes. Hika?
Yes.
Ghost?
Yes.
There's no way we can't dream. Otherwise, that would be a terrible way to live.
Now, the thing
Unless you have
is...
sleep disorders.
Yeah, but I mean,
Yeah.
the thing is, people may argue, no, I don't even remember having any dreams last night. The thing is, the body does always dream. You just don't remember them.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You always dream. I mean, you probably just go through one dream cycle. But you always do dream.
Yeah.
It's just whether your brain can remember it or not.
Or if you are lucky enough to wake up in the middle of it and remember the details.
Oh man,
Exactly.
I hate waking up. We'll talk about our dreams later, but I
Yeah.
hate waking up when the dream's about to get good or something's about to be answered, and I'm like, no, what
And
was
you try to go
happening
back to
next?
sleep,
And it
and it
doesn't
doesn't
work.
continue.
No, it doesn't continue. It's just like, hey, nope, here's a new
Like, oh, it's too much work.
here's a blank slate. Oh no. Son of a gun. All right, I think we can move on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do dreams mean? Now, I did do this research to try and find like if there's any type of special symbolism in dreams. I don't know if you guys found anything because I didn't find anything. Did you guys find
There
anything?
are basically every kind of reasons to why we dream, or you know.
Okay.
But
if you found
unless
something, then I can start first.
yeah, sure. You can. I'll let any. You can go first if you want to go.
Okay. So, what I wrote down, because I did do these research the day I wanted to originally record this, guys, but I was too tired to actually record that night. And then Ghost was too tired the next night. We have lives, guys. We can't do this all the time on a scheduled
That's
basis.
true. Yo, it's just funny. I was the only one awake, just to like, oh, let's do this.
Yeah, I listen,
Yeah,
Hika. You see, I was too busy in Dreamland doing extra special research.
I was trying to catch up on missing out on sleep the night before.
Yes.
Sleep hates me.
Maybe you hate sleep. Ever thought that?
No.
Next podcast, guys. Why does Hika hate sleep?
No.
Okay, what I wrote down, guys, was dreams could have so many different meanings, which is definitely true. I already said earlier possible reasons why we dream. Well, we said earlier. Man, I was so selfish when I wrote this. Some meanings could be pointless, like looking at the sky and trying to discover the meaning of potatoes, honestly. Some dreams are kind of pointless to look deeper into, because they're just dreams to make you feel good or just there because why not. Others could be to help us cope with things happening in our lives, like we said earlier. Some could be showing us our inner desires or inner turmoil that we repress in reality. It really depends on the dream itself and the person that has the dream. Now, let's actually give dreams meaning. In ancient times, dreams were considered supernatural communications or means of divine intervention. So, a message from the gods. Now, what does that message have to do with anything? It depends on the dream, guys. Listen, I wasn't around back then. It really depends on the dreams they had back then.
Yeah.
And real quick, do you guys think people from, like, let's say Rome, the Roman Empire days, that they had dreams about their gods? Do you guys think
I
that?
imagine some of them could, but they
Yeah.
would probably have more dreams about like things happening in their daily lives.
Fair.
I
Yeah,
imagine.
that's true.
Okay. Now, nowadays, people believe dreams have some special meaning. An example that I found is people are more likely to cancel a flight that they planned if they had a dream about a plane crashing the night before than if the Department of Homeland Security issued a federal warning. So dreams could be a type of warning of things to come.
Yeah,
That
those
that
would be precognitive dreams.
Yeah,
yeah, that's what like I always get those kind of dreams, but it's not like
but
warnings, but
scary.
it's kind of like dreams where like I see my next daily life or what happens the next day, and like I see this scene and it just happens to remember it. But it is scary to thought that like knowing that it's a warning, and then if something weird or bad happen, if you find out in your sleep, and then it's like maybe you're trying to stop it, like, but you don't know if it is gonna happen or not. Like, it's scary to think about that.
Right.
Yeah.
So, what do dreams mean? Anyone want to add on?
I'll go.
Okay.
So basically there's common themes in dreams that you can interpret things from, like losing your teeth or other similar like dream analysis like themes. But oftentimes like you can find different like elements of your dreams, and more than likely someone else has had a dream with that same element, and usually you can find like a dream analysis dictionary online and find like the little details that you remember from your dream, and find details that kind of like tell you more about like your subconscious based on like your experiences and like what these people associate like this element of the dream to be part of.
Mm-hmm.
So it's relative based on culture, I imagine, but also like the fact that everyone has dreams. Everyone tends to often have common themes from time to time. So it's not too hard to put meaning to dreams.
So, in other words, it depends on culture, person,
Yes.
and how they are mentally and possibly physically.
Yes.
All right, Hika, you want to continue?
Yes. I have this like question on when I looked up for it, and then there's
Okay.
like a health kind of stages about like dreams. So there are certain stages in sleep during like your sleep, like they act as a role to you depending on how your mood state in the feeling of the day goes into. So like your dream are like being your therapist, as like being confronting like emotional dramas in your life. It's like a fight or flight dreaming. It's like it's during a dream in the amygdala, which is hard to pronounce it, but it was actually like mhm.
Yeah.
It's
I
also
promise you, I actually Googled how to pronounce this on Friday when we were supposed to record this Friday evening, and I forgot that I wrote it down.
yeah. And then this one is also your muse. It's like it helps artists, like let's say artists of all create kinds of dreams, and then it's creative work. It's like it's put you inspirations in it. There's different roles to dreams that all this basically have during your stages of your dream. Like your however you go on your life and whatever you went through, it's your dream reaches a certain stages, and then that's how you start developing various types of dreams, or even like a nightmare. It's just another thing.
So I think it's easy to say that dreams meanings could change depending on the person
Mood swings
themselves, your
and the mood.
your mood, your state of mind, your health, your stage of life. Because I feel like when you're young, you're gonna have a different dream than when you're old,
Yes,
and then
because
Yeah.
when you're in your 20s or 30s or 40s or 50s. So it really does depend. The meaning can change entirely. So I guess it's
exactly
easy to say that dreams kind of don't have meaning, but if you
it
want to put
doesn't.
meaning to, I mean, they have meaning, but it's like so difficult to give it meaning because
Yes,
has so much. The definition is like it's like the number pi. It can go on forever.
yes,
Yeah.
So in other words, it's so long it has no meaning, I think.
that is true. Like, but you never know. But then again, there's no particular like answer for everything yet.
Yeah.
I mean, we could
Like,
give an
just
answer,
because it
but
doesn't
still.
seem to have meaning doesn't mean it's not important.
Oh, it's 100% important.
Yeah.
It's just the meaning is so ambiguous, it's so long, it's so hard to get to.
But
I
like,
mean, it
there's
could
Mhm.
be important in that moment. Like, it could have meaning in that moment.
No, of
Like, if you're
course.
trying to find meaning to, like, explain something in your life at that time period, then it could be important. It could have meaning. But, like, if you're, like, I don't know, satisfied with, like, how things are at the time, then you might not pay much attention to, like, parts of dreams or what they mean.
Right, but
Mhm.
I think that if we're talking about dreams as a whole instead of like one individual dream, if we're talking
Mhm.
about all of dreams, everyone's dreams in the world as a whole, we can't just give them all one meaning, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's like trying to go into a black hole and find the center, which I think
Yeah.
as of right now is physically impossible. One day we could,
Sure.
but probably not in our lifetime.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, we ready to move on?
Yes.
Yes.
Can we control our dreams? Hika, you brought it up earlier, so do you want to start this one?
I
Well,
would just
you
go for
mentioned the
this.
name at least, so.
Yeah. For controlling dreams, not entirely. That's how I believe, because we can't really control the dreams that hasn't happened yet, and but surely like you can't really see if you can because your body's not moving. Your mind is not your mind's doing it on its own. That's how I feel about this in my own theory. Like dreams, we can't really control it, especially like, like dreams that we see into the like premonition. We can't really control it.
Yeah.
And that's basically my answer. So of it. Yeah.
I'm gonna continue. What I was going off of was what lucid dreaming.
Oh.
So I was saying yes, you can control your dreams. So once you fall asleep and you start having a dream, if you are self-aware that you're in a dream, you have more control. Can you completely control a dream? I don't think you can 100% completely control it, but you have way more control over the dream, the characters, the environment, if that makes
Yeah.
sense.
So like controlling your own dream is like controlling your own world.
Well,
Well, for it's
the
gonna be
way I
like,
see it,
uh-huh.
it's kind of like trying to engineer a train. Like there's only one track that you can go on. You can probably change tracks later on with help, but you can only really control like the speed that you go at,
Mm-hmm.
And
but you
maybe
can't
certain
really change lanes.
directions,
Yeah.
but you're gonna be
Yeah, like you
stuck on
go
the
forward or
track.
back,
Right, but you have to
but
stay on the same train track,
yeah,
right?
exactly.
But I
So you
feel
can
like
maybe tweak some things with
sometimes.
a lucid dream with practice, of course. But if you're probably starting out, you probably can't control as many elements of your dream. But
Hmm.
like, if you've gotten better at practicing lucid dreaming, you can probably control more elements of your dream. But at the end of the day, you're still on the hallucination train.
Fair, fair.
Mm-hmm.
Now, has anyone here ever had a lucid dream?
No.
Um, Not really.
Not really, or just no? Because I can say with confidence I've never had a lucid dream.
Not really. That's my true answer.
Not really is not really a yes or no.
No, just say no.
It feels like a maybe. It's like, hey, Hika, you want to share with the class?
I mean, even if I say maybe, because I have no like memory if I even had one or not, or couldn't
Well, I
really
mean,
tell if it
I
is
feel
or
like you
not.
would have a memory if you did,
Yeah.
because I feel like
Probably, yeah.
you would be conscious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I know I haven't because in a psychology course, well, two psychology courses with the same professor, there was an element we did on hypnosis, and it's very meditative,
Uh
and I fell asleep both times. So I know I can't lucid dream at all. I just knock right out.
Now, let me ask you this: since you took psychology
Yeah.
and being hypnotized, do you think that's like being the same as falling asleep,
Depending on the type of hypnosis, like if you've
or I should
got
say
like
like dreaming? But
kind of, I mean, like the one that my professor put on and had a recording of, or I think he actually went through the script. But basically, it takes you down like into like a lesser state of consciousness,
mm-hmm.
and oftentimes you can kind of maybe like have like retain memory of what happens, or like maybe have some element of like dream, but usually you can kind of like it's a lot of hard work um
Okay.
trying to actually like visualize things, and that's probably why like I ended up knocking out at one point but somehow still came back up when it,
Oh.
it was time to. But I think I concerned my professor because I was still asleep and he was like going through the bringing back up thing again, and I was like, huh, oh, okay.
Man, if I was a professor and I put someone to sleep or hypnotize them and I couldn't get them back, I just smack them.
Yeah. But
Like
at the end of the
I was
day,
just trying to wake you up.
it's all about how prone you are to suggestion. And if you don't want to be hypnotized, you won't be hypnotized.
Fair.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But it was very relaxing, except the chairs weren't comfortable.
Oh
Understandable.
yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
All right, now to get a little bit off topic, because before I go into like dreams, in case any of
Hmm.
us want to share any dreams, because I have several dreams I can share.
Yes.
First thing I want to talk about is sleep paralysis.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Has anyone here ever experienced that?
I have not.
Not really, but I do know my cousins have it like once
Hika,
or twice before.
hey Hika,
Yes, I know.
not really. Is it not a yes or no? It's a maybe.
I know, I know. I don't have a straight answer to say everything.
I no, trust me. Okay, so you said your
You
cousins.
would
We'll get
know.
back to that.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not gonna mention their name because it's their business, and I don't know if they
Yeah.
would be comfortable. I
Hmm.
know of someone who has had sleep paralysis, and
Oh.
it is I can't say it. This is a family podcast.
Oh yeah, I have two
It's a
friends who have
pain.
had them.
Yeah.
And what's funny is that, well, kind of funny, coming from from someone who can't have sleep paralysis or hasn't had sleep paralysis yet. Like, apparently, the more you talk about sleep paralysis, the more likely you are to experience it. And yet here I am. I've mentioned sleep paralysis on multiple occasions, and I've never had it. So I just find it kind of ironic and funny.
Dang, I guess now I'm gonna wake up tomorrow and or tonight and be very upset if this happens. But
Oh,
for those of you who don't know what sleep paralysis is, I actually have a definition. Sleep paralysis is a condition identified by a brief loss of muscle control, known as atonia. Now, atonia is the brief loss of muscle control.
yes.
That happens just after falling asleep or waking up. In addition to atonia, people often have hallucinations during episodes of sleep paralysis. Now, that may sound like a Wikipedia definition because I'm pretty sure it is. Uh, sleep paralysis is categorized as a type of parasomnia. I hope I'm saying that word right.
Yes.
Parasomnias are abnormal behaviors during sleep because it is connected to the rapid eye movement stage of the
I
sleep cycle
imagine
itself.
sleep terror and sleepwalking fall under parasomnia.
Probably. Sleep paralysis
Yes.
is considered to be who cares about that part? I already just stated it's the same exact thing. But if you ever had this, I guarantee it you will know. Because
Yes. to
The way it's been described from a first-hand person who's had this, is they're in their bed. It's like they're chained in a way, or
yeah.
they've been drugged where they can't move their body, their head, only their eyes.
To simplify it, there's a mechanism in your brain.
Hmm.
I believe it's involved with the amygdala. The amygdala releases, or the brainstem sends out nerve
And
signals so that
here
you
we
relax your
go.
muscles. So,
Amygdala doing its job again.
yes, and so when you have sleep paralysis, you wake up, but your body is still in that like relaxed state, so you can't do anything.
Hmm.
And of course, people tend to like they panic, and that's why there's that heavy weight on their chest feeling.
Hmm.
And also the fact that there's like hallucinations because they're panicking and probably aren't getting as much air, so they see things. And like there's common figures in sleep paralysis, like the Hat Man, which Freddy Krueger's based off of. There's like the tall guy, and there's like a couple other figures that fall into the category of like sleep paralysis demons, quote unquote.
That is scary, actually.
Yeah.
It's very scary because the person I'm talking about has had. I can't say exactly these, but they've had very scary things happen to them. They said.
Yeah.
And they could do nothing to stop it until like, they wake up or whatever.
Yeah, because usually at that point, it's hard to, especially when you're panicking in the moment. But at that point, what you're supposed to try and do is kind of try to relax and get a grip on reality and try to ground yourself so that you don't like lose yourself to the panic until you can wake up. And so your body wears out the chemicals that are causing it to like stay relaxed.
Now, Higa, did you want to continue talking about sleep paralysis and your cousins who've had them, or no?
Well, I don't really have any kind of like information how they got sleep paralysis because they
Okay.
rarely talk about that. I
Well,
don't
it's
really
because
kind of.
it is a terrifying thing that I honestly, if you know someone who's had sleep paralysis, I would not bring it up because it's probably something uncomfortable for them to talk about.
But not just
Yeah.
that, but it can also possibly trigger another episode of sleep paralysis because their brain will be more aware of it and thus
Right.
will create it.
Now, it's just a quick question about that. Is it kind of like the same like concept as that of trauma?
I don't know. I can't answer that. Not a scientist here.
I don't think so.
I cannot answer that.
Because with trauma, or at least with PTSD, there's more there are hallucinations, but they're more like triggered hallucinations, and
I
it's
feel like that'd
kind
be
of
more nightmares than
yeah,
that.
or
I
nightmares, night terrors.
Yeah.
Okay. No, like I did do some part research about that, and that's why I was curious if there were any kind of relations to it.
But the difference is, I think with like with sleep paralysis, there isn't exactly like a groove that the brain falls into. But with PTSD nightmares, there's literally like a groove etched into your brain from the trauma, and when your brain like the pathway falls into that groove, it tends to like you're stuck, and you have to kind of get out of that rut to like
Ah,
move on from it.
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Another thing that I want to talk about that we experience during sleep or dreams, is what's called the hypnic jerk.
Oh.
Now,
The
some
hypnic
of
jerk?
you may be wondering, like Hika, what the heck is a
Yeah.
hypnic jerk? Now,
Okay. You know when you're falling asleep and like you're relaxed and like you're about to like enter like deep sleep and then your body just jolts and wakes you right back up? That's what a hypnic jerk is.
now, let me,
No.
yeah. Now let me just continue. Now the hypnic jerk is a normal reaction, which is baloney. It's not normal. I hate it. It's the worst thing ever. That can
But
be
it's because
caused by anxiety, caffeine, a dream. Yes, a dream can cause this, or
or your
discomfort
body
of
just
sleeping.
relaxes too quickly. Like
Yeah,
your heartbeat just calms down so fast that your brain's like, "Hey, we good?" Jolt.
yeah.
And your body's just like, "Hey, yeah, we were good." But you didn't have to do that.
Yes, another way to describe this is the feeling of falling while falling asleep or being asleep, because this can happen at any stage while you're sleeping.
Oh yeah. Can also happen when you're like sitting in a chair in class and you're like so bored that you're falling asleep and you
Yeah.
just kind of jolt awake.
Yeah.
Oh, I have bad memories of that now because my only experience of that was like having to go take Spanish class, and when we're learning, I'm just like I was sleeping, and then my dream was literally was when we were practicing drama class, and it was like the moment I do like this kind of performance stage on it, I was just like I had to do a quick jump, and I just shake the whole table and wakes me up.
Oh.
I was like, everyone just looks at me awkwardly, and I'm just like,
Oh, I dropped my
did I
pen.
do something? Yeah. Yes, exactly. That's what happened. Thank you for finishing my words.
You see, guys, I was there.
No, you're not.
100%. They don't know that.
Don't fade my memories.
They don't know that yet, man. Listen, I'm there.
You were there spiritually.
100%, because I knew you back in high school.
Oh, totally.
Now, nightmares. I think everyone knows what a nightmare is, but if you don't know, nightmares is a type of dream that is considered scary or upsetting. Nightmares can occur due to stress, anxiety, or sometimes could be the reaction from certain medications. Does anyone want to add on to that? Beautiful. We'll just go to the next.
Can't think of anything to add.
We'll go to the official next question because that was just things I had that I thought was actually worth talking about. Does anyone want to talk about any good dreams that you guys remembered and why it stuck to you, or why you think it stuck with you?
I've got
get-
one.
Okay.
So there was one time, I think it was within half a year after my Nana had passed, and she showed up in my dream, and all I remember was like hugging her, and she was wearing this really fluffy sweater, and it was so like heartwarming because like I could feel just how soft the sweater was, and it was just really nice to see her in dream again.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Hiki, did you have something? All right, I guess I'll go next. This is, I want to say, let's see, I have a lot of dreams I could talk about. I wouldn't say this is a good dream. This was actually a very recent dream.
Wait, oh crap, I was muted. Shit.
What?
Sorry, I heard the question, but someone was calling. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
No, you go first. Okay, I'm sorry.
Alright, this was like a recent dream I had. Should I talk about that one? Let me talk about, I guess, an odd dream. It wasn't a bad dream. I think I was back in middle school, which Ghost and I went together to the same school. Now, do you remember D building, Ghost?
Yeah.
How the lockers were orange?
Yes.
I was in this building in middle school with the orange lockers, and instead of inputting a combination, it was like also in the future in the dream, because I had like a special card to open my locker. It's just like a slide pad, right? But for some reason it wasn't working. But the oddest part is I feel like you were actually there, and this was a long time ago before we started talking again.
Yeah.
And it was just like a weird dream. I'm like, what? Why did I dream of this of all things? Okay. I don't know. It was just like a odd familiar dreams, which bring us back to memories. Because it was my old school with an old friend, just also different at the same time.
Yeah.
Alright, Hika, you can go.
I guess my most good dreams, at least, is when I need to go be in peace. Because, like, I guess most of my dreams I always have to go, that's good for me, is whenever, like, I just want to go, like, be, like, have tranquility, I guess. I just want to go into, like, a forest. And it just usually be, like, you know, sitting and sleeping. Sleeping inside a dream is, like, basically, like, kind of like just peace, calm, and quiet. I think that's what stick with me at the most times, because even as a kid, I kind of still remember that, remember.
So, a good dream for you that you had and remember is you going into a forest just to go relax?
Yeah, it's like just nothing really. Like I didn't have any like I have troubled times as a kid, especially in middle school.
Mm-hmm.
But like that dream, I always remember that like completely every time I wake up. Is like maybe I'm find a day is a good day, and just like as long as I remember this dream, like maybe like not the next day will not be so bad or not, even if it's just gonna be like the same thing over.
Do you need a
It's
hug?
like nah, I'm good. But like you know, I have to find there's some kind of peace there. That's what I like about it.
Fair,
And then that's how I keep it like remembering.
fair.
Hmm.
Now,
Yeah.
this one's gonna be maybe a little harder for some. Is there any nightmares that you guys remember?
Ooh, yes.
I
Because
only know one.
I only remember one too.
I
Actually, I
remember
remember
one.
two. Never mind, I remember two.
I have a couple that I remember but so one that actually woke me up in a cold sweat was the simplest dream. I was like I didn't see anything, but all I heard was like a fly going behind my head and I was just terrified that it was going to wake me or like go into my ear, so I woke up sweating. But the other one that I remember from elementary school was I was on
Oh,
like some like yeah, this has stuck with me since.
no, no. The thing is, I have one from elementary school too.
Oh. So the one from elementary school was I was on like some rocky cliff, and it was weird because it was like a kind of orangey purple, sort of Mars-ish kind of color, and all I remember was like I was near a ledge and somebody pushed me off, and as I was falling, I could not wake up from the dream, but I do remember being caught at the bottom. So it was a really strange dream, but I was just kind of like, huh, that was weird.
I wish I was like, huh, that was weird in my dream.
I
So
do have a lot of weird dreams.
fair, we all do. I feel
Because
like, but some people just don't talk
what is
about them.
your nightmare?
So I'm gonna talk about two as well. So the first one, I'm gonna go to elementary school. Um, as you guys may know, I live in Pennsylvania. I currently live in the same house I lived in when I was a kid,
Hmm.
and I'm in the same room I used to sleep in when I was a kid. And the dream took place in my house,
Oh.
which is probably the weirdest part. It took place in the room I'm currently recording this in, where I slept when I was a kid. So that's probably why it was so scary, because it's such a familiar environment at the same time.
Yeah.
So the dream, I was like in my room in a corner with some being. I don't remember the being, but my sister was there. And I remember her wearing a dress. And the being zapped my sister and killed her,
Oh.
leaving nothing but
Oh,
bones and the dress. And obviously, I was goddamn terrified. The being then went along to kill my brother. And there was nothing left. He was like dust. My older brother was just dust. And when you're a kid and you have an older sibling, you look up to them. So like when that happened, I was like, oh gosh, screw this, I'm out. Oh gosh, I'm gonna die. And I just remember running out the room and jumping down a flight of steps, which makes no sense because I would have banged my head. But it just felt like the steps was like eternally longer. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Even though I made it down, I'm like going to my parents, like, Mom, Dad, there's something up there that's killing my siblings, and it's like nothing. They wouldn't do anything. It was like one of the most messed up dreams I had, especially when you're a kid, you know.
Yeah.
yeah.
You just reminded me of another dream that I had. That was kind of scary,
Hush, my
and it
turn.
took place in. Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
But I had to say it before I forgot it.
Say it before you forget.
Uh, so it took place in middle school in the gym. You remember?
Of
There
course,
was
I
like that
remember.
area, with the little like sports equipment storage,
Yeah, I
and
remember. Yeah. in between the
So
locker
in my
rooms.
dream, yeah. So in my dream, I was in the gym and there were all these like presents set out and stuff because it was like my birthday in the dream or something, and I was just weird. But then there was like this Rottweiler robot killing machine that was trying to hunt me down, and so I ran into like the sports equipment area, but then it turned into a hallway and there were other rooms, and I hid it in one of the rooms, and like the
Oh
robot went
man,
away.
you made me remember of another dream too. Hika, you're gonna wait your turn.
I don't have anything to back out my own dreams, so
All right,
Oh.
now
I'll just sit here
we're,
and
we're,
listen to your own nightmares.
we're going back to elementary school again, kids. And actually, elementary school, my first elementary school. It was raining in my dream, and like I don't want to go too much in detail because some people don't know exactly what went to school, but like in my elementary school, there is like, depending on what class you're going to, there are different entrances. So, in order to get to this part of the school, you have to go kind of the back. And it's like a little alley, but it's not. It's like for to enter other classrooms on the back of the school in a way. Not the exact back of the school, but like I guess you could say the middle of the school, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, it was raining. It was pouring rain, and the things I remember, it was like there was a monster. What kind of monster? I could not tell you. I just remember seeing glowing green footsteps in the water that led into the classroom I was in. And I wasn't alone. There was like a couple other kids in there. Who were they? I have no idea. I just remember that we were basically screwed. So it's like I never watched The Thing at the time. I watched the movie The Thing. Great movie, by the way. But it's like a situation like that where you know something's with you, but you can't do anything about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like you don't know who to trust. And now, this is I think when I was in middle school, maybe late middle school or 9th grade high school. Now I actually had a nightmare about Call of Duty Zombies,
Oh.
which I don't understand. I always loved that game mode. Loved it since World at War. I said this the last podcast we did. And it was very specifically Call of Duty Black Ops. The moon map, I believe, because we were jumping around with a zero gravity, I think. But it was also with the guns from World at War, because I remember using the Browning. Now, I don't know why, but in this dream, it was just like another ordinary Call of Duty zombie game. But for some reason, my brain could not handle it, and I was just like too stressed and too scared for some reason. I don't know why I felt so scared just playing the game. I guess it's because maybe in my dream I was the actual character itself, not the player, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's like all these zombies are after me while someone is controlling me to play a game. I have other dreams too, but Higa, did you want to go? Do you want to take a turn?
I guess I don't really remember any best nightmares, I guess, by memory, so...
You want to come back? Want us to come back to you for the next question then?
I could go for the next question, yeah.
Just think
I don't
of
really have an answer.
any dreams you want to talk about now, because I'm going back to nightmares. Ghost, you want to talk about any nightmares still?
No.
Alright, well, I have another
I'm out of
nightmare. I have another nightmare. This is going back to zombies, guys. Yes, I have lots of zombie dreams. That's what happens when you play so much Call of Duty Zombies. You dream zombies. It's actually, this was basically, I guess you can say, the Walking Dead related dream. It is the zombie apocalypse in this dream. This was high school. Where in the world I was, I have no idea. But it's like I'm with a group of survivors, and we're defending the door to a cave where our fortress is, where all the survivors are. And of course, zombies are trying to break in. And it's like, come on, we need help. And I just remember looking back and seeing so many people just, relaxing, doing their own thing. It's like, what the hell are you guys doing? Do you want to die? and I'm like one of the only ones holding the door back, and a big old chunk of my arm was bitten clean off.
Ooh.
Yeah, that hurt. I don't know why it physically hurt. It didn't obviously feel like, I don't know what it obviously feels like to get your flesh meat to get torn off by human teeth, but I just remember a pain in my arm that was there in my dream, not in real life.
Yeah.
But like, it's just like my brain detecting the pain and just boom, inserts in the dream. And I slam the door, and then everyone's looking at me now. I'm just asking everyone to shoot me because I know what's going to happen. Everyone knows when you get bit, you're going to turn to a zombie. And no one does it. No one wants to mercy kill me. It's like everyone in my dream is completely useless. You don't want to help close the door too. You don't want to help put me on my misery. The only reason it was a nightmare is because I felt like I was invisible until I was supposed to die. Yeah. So, let's talk about any dreams we want to talk about. The next small segment. Hika, would you like to start?
A dream to talk about?
You can talk about any. If not, I can just go on and on about dreams, my friend. Listen, I'm prepared. I had a lot of dreams I can remember.
Well, I don't really have much dreams to talk about, really. Not from my experience.
Do you want to just listen to my dreams?
Yes.
I hope they're interesting. Ghost, do you have any?
I can't think of any at the moment.
All right, welcome to that random podcast crew where Panda talks about his dreams. Another dream that I've had, this is a recent dream, is actually something that inspired me for a YouTube video that I have not filmed yet, but I plan to film. Now, in this dream, I was actually screaming and running away from something. But it wasn't a nightmare or anything. It was just a dream, and I found it odd, right? That I was looking at this. But the thing is, it was a YouTube video I was watching that I made. And I'm like, wait a minute, I didn't make a YouTube video of this. And then it's like, I'm screaming and running from something. I don't know what yet. I still don't know what. And then the video continues, and like it shows me in my bed, like running, doing the whole motion. But I'm not moving, obviously, because I'm sleeping. I'm in my bed lying down, just doing the running things, but on my bed. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I feel like that dream was like of significance for the future, which is weird. I feel like some dreams can tell you things for the future, or just give you ideas creatively, like we said earlier, multiple times.
I did bring up many times where, oh, sorry, continue.
You brought it up, Ghost brought it up. I was going to bring it up into more detail, but you already brought it up, so I didn't bring it up again. But here we are bringing it up again, guys.
I mean, dreams telling the future is kind of like, just like it's a premonition, but it's not like something that's bad gonna happen. It's just something that you actually just gonna see it basically, just one scene of the next day.
Yeah.
And that's all my dreams I got. That's not interesting.
I have another dream. This one is, I wouldn't say it's a good dream or a nightmare. I think it was like just a sad dream. And I don't remember when I had this dream, because it could have more significance, a lot more significance depending on when I had this dream. So, I don't know where I am. I just remember some bathrooms and hanging out with a kid that I just met. Now, the kid himself, it was a little African boy, African American boy. I'm not even kidding. And I was like a teenager. I don't know why, but in my dream we became friends, and like such great friends. And like we spent just the day together. And at the end of the dream, he had to leave. I don't know why. And I just remember crying so much when he left. And I actually cried a lot of tears when I woke up. And I don't know why. It's the honest thing. 'Cause I never met that kid in my life, to my knowledge. right? When did this happen? This happened years ago. We're talking about over 5+ years ago. I don't remember what the situation was, because like that could mean several different things depending on the time. I think it happened after I moved to California, or maybe I was moving away. If it happened when I was moving away from California, it could have meant like, you know, I'm losing my friends, which I definitely did. I lost a lot of friends. Moving across the country, you lose a lot of friends.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's so weird. Dreams really do hit you hard sometimes, even if you don't fully understand them. I think that's mainly the main dreams I wanted to talk about. Like, I can still go on, but, you know, we're running out of time, guys.
True.
Now, final question of the segment, unless anyone else has anything they want to add. No? Okay.
I don't
No.
have anything else I want to add.
So, final questions. Have you ever had more dreams in color or black and white?
I've had more dreams in color.
Okay.
Colored for me as well.
Color for me as well. Now, this question is actually being asked by Ghost. She's the one who came up with the question. Now, I think it's a very interesting question because I think studies show. I remember reading this somewhere. I didn't even do the research. Studies show that people who are born colorblind dream in black and white.
Well, not just that, but it also depends on like if you're old enough to have a black and white TV and then switch to a color TV, because those who had black and white TVs often dreamed more in black and white.
Fair. But like people, my thing is with people who are colorblind too, they definitely should be dreaming in black and white because they obviously can't see color.
Well, colorblind there's different variations. So
well, I mean people who can't see like colors at all.
Oh, yeah.
I know there are different variations where it's like certain colors look like a different color, like blue looks green and green looks red or something like that.
Yeah, there's
not saying they're all
cones,
the same.
I think it was either cones or rods, but there's different ones that are missing and affect color perception.
Right.
But it's very rare to not see color at all. Like even dogs see color. They just see blues and yellows.
Fair.
Yes.
Now, my thing is with people who are actually blind, like people who are born blind, what do they dream?
Because I imagine they have like they may have dreams that are based on other senses.
Their senses?
Yeah, so they may have dreams that are compromised of like touch, sounds, smells, tastes,
or texture.
Yeah.
It's actually a really interesting question, I feel like, because you know they'd never seen anything. Because I'm not talking about like someone who went blind. You know what I mean?
Because they'd still have dreams with visuals.
Yeah. Probably to a limit, obviously, not of a person they just met.
Yeah.
It really does bring up a good point, I feel like.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Oh, well, I may never know, but that's fine. I think that's it, right?
Yeah, that's about it.
We've covered all the bases.
Alright, guys. I'm glad we wrapped it up.
Woo!
Thank you so much, guys. This is the end of the podcast. If you watched this far, thank you so much. We truly appreciate you.
Yes, we do.
Yes.
Now, if you aren't already, please consider subscribing to the YouTube channel and show some support. We greatly appreciate it, of course. Now, of course, we also all stream on Twitch. Everyone's link will be down below. So please show some support there too. Electroniicghost recently reached 400, I noticed.
Oh, yes, I did.
No promises if she's doing anything special. I recently reached 350. So hopefully by the time this is uploaded, you'll have some time to know that I will be doing a 24-hour stream on July 6th. Hopefully, if this is uploaded on July 3rd. Haha. If it's not, well, sucks for me.
I believe in you.
Yeah.
And Hika's just awesome, guys. Go support Hika.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Until the next podcast. Panda.
I'm Ghost.
I'm Hika.
This has been That Random Podcast Crew. Thank you guys so much.
Ooh.
Till next time. See ya.
Bye bye.
Bye.